Global War 36 enthusiast here, with Operation From Russia with Love. Before I start my turn, Commonwealth is going to declare war on Germany. So this will move Great Britain from 25 up to 26 for Belgian Congo. Then, per table 4.7, quote, if Poland is not controlled by a major power, Poland aligns with Great Britain as soon as Great Britain is at war with a major power. The alignment of Poland will move Great Britain from 26 up to 29 for West Poland, Warsaw, and East Poland. Okay, so now we start the turn, 6.5 Commonwealth. It is January 1939. I have 2 tech rolls with the Commonwealth. First, I tried for anti-submarine warfare to 7 or higher. PPE generated an 8, so I succeeded. Next, I tried for improved construction at a 7 or higher. PPE generated a 12, so I succeeded. So 4 powers have improved construction. Seems like most of us are doing pretty average except poor Boston Bruce, who just had horrible luck, 1 out of 7 last time. And speaking of horrible luck, I tip my hat to poor Silk, who the CCP really has had the worst luck of this game. Okay, purchases. Great Britain has 16 IPP to spend. I will purchase 3 militia for 6, 2 infantry for 6, that's 12, and 1 anti-aircraft artillery brings us up to 16. FEC has 7 to spend. I will purchase 1 anti-aircraft artillery for 4 and save 3. ANZAC has 5 to spend. I will purchase 1 infantry for 3 and save 2. You can preview that the French have 10 and they're going to lend lease a fighter to the British. Okay, combat movement. From West Poland, 1 cavalry will move to Bohemia, 1, 2. And that will raise Britain up to 30. And Germany drops to 25. Now I have a series of moves which I talked about with a board gaming bro. And they're here in the Med. Following 9.1, there's a requirement to use combat movement when a declaration of war is possible. So for each of these moves, I told a board gaming bro what I was going to do, and then asked him if he wanted to declare war, C-zone by C-zone. So this is kind of a good learning point for folks who don't know about this particular requirement. I think this is version 4, but maybe it was also version 3. Okay, so from C-Zone A44, this British destroyer goes over here into M2. Then I have to decide, in theory, if I would declare war on the neutral power that I just entered. I'm not allowed to declare war on Italy, so that point's moot. But if the moving player declines to declare war, now it's the defending player's turn, and a board gaming bro can decide to declare war on me. Combat, it doesn't occur right there. We're still in the combat movement phase. I could move, if he did declare war on me, I could move other units into that battle, but he declined to declare war on me. And then from M2, the same destroyer, moved to M4, and I asked him, do you want to declare war on me? He declined. Then I moved up here. Does he want to declare war on me? He declines. Okay, so that destroyer has moved 3 spaces out of 4. We come back to him later. Then from Lower Egypt, this transport left Lower Egypt into C-Zone M8. I asked if a board gaming bro wanted to declare war. He did not, etc. I move across here. I kept asking him, do you want to declare war? He declined. I then go into port here in Gibraltar with this guy. Then the guy that was there in Gibraltar left port into C-Zone M2. Board Gaming Bro declined. He consistently declined. I just want you guys to know we went through this one by one. I pick up the infantry and anti-aircraft artillery from Gibraltar, and I walk 1, 2, and then I drop them off here in Lower Egypt and go into port in Lower Egypt. And then this destroyer here had one more movement. It goes back here and goes into port in Malta. So just to explain the method to my madness, I didn't know if a Board Gaming Bro wanted to go to war with me. He had these naval transports sitting there in the Adriatic. So if he did declare war on me when I brought out my transport, or when I brought that one over, or vice versa, then I could move my destroyer one more space and attack those two undefended transports there. That's why I went through all those antics. Okay, let's see. Okay, that was the end of all the combat moves that I reviewed with a Board Gaming Bro. I want to also point out a really good question that a Board Gaming Bro had when I was making him go through all this. He asked if I could retroactively change my moves. No, I can't. If I make a move and force a decision by a Board Gaming Bro about whether or not he wants to declare war, then I can't take it back. Then you know what I mean. I could say, hold on, wait, I need to think about this, and then I could say, okay, I'm ready for you to decide. I can't. The reason I can't retroactively take it back is I could then suss out a Board Gaming Bro's intentions and kind of see if he was on the verge of declaring war or not. So once someone decides, it's just like rolling a die. You can't go back from there. All right. So now let's go to some other combat moves. Up there near Norway, there are 2 submarines here from Sea Zone A4. They're going to go over 1, 2 and do convoy raiding of Sea Zone A7. I'm recording, dearest. Okay, so is there any other? Yeah, I do have more combat movement. In Sea Zone A20, this destroyer that's on convoy escort duty is going to come off and then move over here and go on escort duty in a, whatever this is that, I've got it written down here, A18. I had my German subs in the wrong location. Both Boston Bruce and I had the German subs in A43, and I couldn't figure out why. I went back to turn 4.1, and Hambone said, as he's moving his subs upside down, he moved them to A34, but he said A43 because he was probably reading it from the wrong direction. So that's why my ships aren't in exactly the same spot I'd like them to be, given the new location of the German subs. And then from Sea Zone A44, this Anzac destroyer is going to move to Sea Zone A18 and go on convoy escort duty. So I got these 2 here in A18. All right. I think that's the end of my combat movement. Now non-combat movement. Let's zoom in a little bit here on the northern part of England. Okay. 1 infantry from northern England will strategic rail to London. From southern England, 1 militia will move up to northern England, and 1 militia, this is also from southern England, 1 infantry, 1 medium bomber, and 1 fighter. These will all move from southern England over here to London. So right now London has a militia, 3 infantry, a fighter, and a medium bomber. And southern England has a militia and 2 infantry. Okay, then from southern England, this transport is going to leave port and pick up those 2 infantry and carry them down to Gibraltar, dropping them off in Gibraltar. There we go. And go into port here. From Sea Zone A21, I have this task force marker that has a light carrier, 3 battleships, a destroyer, and 2 torpedo boat destroyers, and they will go 1, 2, 3 to A6. Let's swing over to Poland. Sorry, I didn't show you my task force marker there up in A6. There, that's off the east coast of Scotland. Okay, let's see what happens here in Poland. Maybe we can, yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Okay. So from West Poland, 3 infantry are going to move over here to Warsaw. From Warsaw, this fighter will fly 1, 2, 3, 4 and land on that carrier. Let's make sure that's on screen. Yep. From Warsaw, 1 infantry will move to East Poland. I guess I'll take this guy right here. From Donalowski, 2 infantry will move up to Warsaw. So it looks like I have 6 infantry, 2 militia, and a cavalry in Warsaw. And then in East Poland, I have a militia and 2 infantry. Okay, let's go back over to the Atlantic. Here we're going to have, from Sea Zone A27, this task force group of a light carrier, a tactical bomber, a light cruiser, and 1 of the destroyers are going to move up to Sea Zone 20. From Sea Zone A27, the other destroyer is just going to move down 1 to Sea Zone A35. From Sea Zone A28, this destroyer is going to come off escort duty and also move to Sea Zone A35. From Sea Zone A44, this Anzac light cruiser, we don't, you're able to see that. There it is. That guy from A44 is going to go up 1, 2, 3 up here and join this task force. So this task force in A20 has a light carrier attack, Anzac light cruiser, British light cruiser, and a destroyer. And then from A44, this light cruiser with a fighter, or I'm sorry, this light carrier with a fighter, this light cruiser will go up here to A35. Let's swing around. Oh, can we, did we, yeah, I guess you guys could see that. That's perfect. Okay. Let's go over here down to is this I-5? This coastal sub is going to go here into M8. Let's take a peek here at the west coast of Africa. We have to rotate down, I think. So this seaplane is going to go 1, 2, 3 to Southwest Africa. Okay, the next move was cleared with Hambone. It's a non-combat move, but this submarine that he has, since we're at war and it's unsubmerged, he does have the option to take 1 round of combat with me if he wants. So these 4 naval units, it's 2 heavy cruisers and a destroyer and the naval transport, they all leave port from South Africa and go into Sea Zone I-1. The sub could basically take 1 shot at me. Hambone declined that. I pick up the 2 infantry from Cape Town, and then I go 1, 2, 3 up to I-7. I am dropping off the 2 infantry in Maharashtra, and then I'm going into port here at Maharashtra. With those 4 units. Okay. From southern India to, nope, I don't have 2 infantry there. That's a mistake. I thought that's a move I had from last turn. It must have been. Just make a little note to myself. Okay. From C zone P64. That's down here off the coast of Australia. We're going to do strategic naval movement with that transport. It's going to pick up a infantry and an artillery from Queensland and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and drop off those 2 units here in Calcutta. And then go into port in Calcutta. Now, an interesting learning point. When 2 countries are neutral, I don't have to do what I did with a board gaming bro and ask Panzer J if he wants to hit me, because strategic naval movement can't, it specifically can't be, you can't declare war to stop it. So that's kind of an interesting little rule to note there. And then from Sydney, I'm going to strategic rail this infantry to Queensland. Okay, placement of units. ANZAC gets the infantry placed in Sydney. FEC gets this anti-aircraft artillery placed in Calcutta. And then Cape Town is going to get 1 infantry placed down here. And then everything else goes in England. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to place everything there in London. So London will have 4 militia, 4 infantry, an anti-aircraft gun, and a fighter. Can you tell how much I fear you, Hambone? Collection of income. So Great Britain is at 30, plus 3 for possessing Lower Egypt, plus 2 for all Iranian land zones are neutral, plus 2 for no raiding enemy unit on a Commonwealth convoy line currently. So that's 37. And then FEC is at 14, plus 2 for Aden and Lower Egypt being possessed, plus 3 that I saved, so that's 19. And then ANZAC is at 7, plus 2 for no enemy warships within... Oh, yes, that's true. No enemy warships within 2 of Australia, so that's... And then I saved 2, so that is 11. All right. Now we'll start France's turn. First, I'll try for long-range aircraft with PBE. I'll need an 8 or higher. It's thinking. 11. These rolls really don't matter. It's like Hambone was saying last game. The French tech rolls, pretty meaningless. Okay. So, but France was perfectly average too. So Britain and France are perfectly average. in their tech rolls. I have 10 IPP to spend. I'm going to lend lease 1 fighter to Britain for 10 combat movement. From A20, I've got that destroyer that's on convoy escort duty. It's going to move over here to A21 and be on convoy escort duty in A21. And then this destroyer that's in A28 is going to go up to A21 and go on convoy escort duty. From Sea Zone 54, that's way down here, South Africa, I've got that light cruiser that you guys may have forgotten about that's on the edge of the world. Down here, that guy. He is going to go 1 to I1, 2 to I3, and 3 to I4, and go on convoy, whoops, you can't see that at all, go on convoy escort duty here in I4. I don't really have good options of what to cover, but at least that one covers 2 sea zones, or 2 convoy lines. Okay. I think that, yeah, that's the end of my combat movement. So non-combat. Let's rotate over here, take a peek at France. First thing is we're going to move these battleships that are in A21. These 2 battleships and 1 naval transport will go 1, 2, 3 and join the Brits. I'll bring the Didier. Yeah, that's the one I want to bring. And then the other naval transport is going to use strategic naval movement. Let's see if we can get that on screen. Well, this dice tower needs to go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to do strategic naval movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to French Guyana. It has a minor port there. All right, and now we've got some non-combat movement in France itself. Try to set up, maximize my defense before getting obliterated. I really couldn't see any way to stop Hambone after he's taken Belgium. It makes me so vulnerable. So from Paris, I'm going to move 1 militia here over to Normandy. From Alsace-Lorraine, I'm going to move 5 militia and an infantry into Paris. So that'll bring me up to 11 militia and 9, I believe there's 9 infantry so far there in Paris. And then from Paris, I'm going to move 6 infantry to Aquitaine. So that leaves me with 11 militia, 3 infantry, a fighter, and an anti-aircraft artillery in Paris, which is not going to be a whole lot. And then this rail, or this artillery from Alsace-Lorraine will rail to Aquitaine. So if I've got this right, 6, 8, 10, 12, yes. So I've got 13 units in Aquitaine. I have 11, 14, 15, 16 units in Paris, although they're weaker. And then I've got 3, this last militia from Alsace-Lorraine moves down to southern France. So I've got 3 militia scattered about. Picardy's empty. So Boss and Bruce and I have a little bet. I think these 3 militia are basically useless, and they're just going to get mutilated. But Boss and Bruce believes that we've got a little bet on whether or not they're going to hit. So we'll see. Are these Boss and Bruce trained militia, or are these Global War 36 enthusiast militia? Kind of fun to see what happens here. Lend-Lease, the fighter is built in Paris. It rails to Normandy. Now this does matter because remember that the minor ports, you can only have Lend-Lease something of IPP value of 5 or less. So I'm going to go to Normandy, then I'll embark, go across to London, debark in London. Collection of income. I believe if you just forget to collect your income, then you just miss out. Does that sound right? I think that might be right. Yeah, unfortunately, France collects 18 reluctantly. This is another good thing for Hambone here. I think it's important for us to do a review. I think I have reviewed the units in France, except I didn't really discuss Aquitaine fully. There are 8 infantry, 1 Foreign Legion, 1 mountain infantry, 2 motorized infantry, and an artillery. And I think going over to France, I got the 2 battleships and the naval transport up in A6. I've got 2 destroyers on convoy escort duty in A21, 1 destroyer on convoy escort duty in A19. I've got the naval transport that's over in French Guiana down here. And then I've got that medium bomber on map down here. And then 4 subs are in I5, and the light cruiser is doing convoy escort duty in I4. And I think I went over that London has 4 militia, 4 infantry. Now it has 2 fighters, medium bomber, and an anti-aircraft artillery. I believe that concludes my turn. Next up is a board gaming bro with 6.7 Italy.